So last week, or last week, ang pinag-usapan natin is all about the central angles. Wherein, we were able to learn that the measure of the central angle is equivalent also to the measure of the arc measure inside that angle. So for this week, we are going to learn about the inscribed angles and arcs inside the circle. So how important is this? If you are dealing with engineering subjects, calculus, geometry, kahit na magkarpentero kayo later on, at least you have a background knowledge on the relationships of angles and arcs formed in a circle. I just want to reiterate that, okay? Last week ba yun? Or last week ata. Meron akong na-meet na parent na sabi niya, dami-dami tinuturo, especially sa math. May calculus pa, may geometry pa, may analytic geometry pa. Hindi mo naman nagagamit yun pag pumupunta ka sa palengke. Gusto kong sabihin sa kanya na bakit hanggang palengke lang ba yung anak mo? Diba? We are preparing you guys to have a foundation or knowledge dun sa mga course na kukunin nyo later on. Okay? So, hindi naman pwede na hanggang palengke lang yung course natin, diba? So, that's why we are learning this. And I want you to understand why we have to teach this and why you should learn this. Okay? So, wag nyong lagyan yung sarili nyo ng limit na hindi naman yan nagagamit sa practical application. Siyempre, baka ma-offend naman si ate, di ba? Eh, yun nga yung notion niya eh. So, sa inyo ko sasabihin, para in case marinig nyo man yun sa iba, o i-defend nyo yung sarili nyo. Kasi gusto kong maging ganito barang alaw eh. Kailangan kong pag-aralan ito. Okay? Sino to? Si Crizel. O, balik tayo sa... Nag-rant na naman ako. Okay, balik tayo dito sa ating presentation. O, yun na. Pag may narinig-rinig kayo dyan na ganun ha. Kasi syempre kung ang knowledge lang naman na gustong matutunan, pang palengke lang, elementary lang, di ba? Okay. So, let's discuss. Can you see my screen? Buo? Buo ba?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, for today, we're going to talk about inscribed angle. So, ano ba ang inscribed angle? So, by definition, an inscribed angle of a circle is an angle whose vertex, sabi niya, is on the circle or inside the circumference of a circle. Compared to central angle, ang central angle naman, teka lang, saan ba yun? Pag central angle, ang nakikita natin, yung kanyang vertex ay nandun sa circle. Okay? Ito ay central angle. Compared to inscribed angle, ang kanyang vertex ay nandito sa circumference ng ating circle. So, kapag kang nakita ninyong figure, ay yung vertex niya ay nandito sa circumference ng ating circle, we call that an inscribed angle. So, ang inscribed angle natin dito is angle APB. Bakit siya inscribed? Kasi po, ang kanyang vertex ay naglalay doon sa circumference ng ating circle. So, let's move. That's for inscribed angle. Next. In every inscribed angle, sa loob ng circle, meron tayong na-form na intercepted arc. Okay? At in this case, dito sa ating figure na ito, ang ating intercepted arc ay arc AB. Arc AB now is the arc form of angle or inscribed angle APB. Now, we want to learn what is the relationship now of the, sana all may relationship, no? What is the relationship now of the measure of the inscribed angle to the measure of the intercepted arc? Okay, yun yung gusto nating matutunan. So, let's move on with the next slide. So, by definition, an inscribed angle of a circle is an angle whose vertex is on the circle and whose trace contains chords of the circle. Ayan. Okay? So, in this case, you have the central angle AOB. Alam natin na ang vertex ng central angle is within the center. Next, we have the inscribed angle. Ang inscribed angle natin dito is ito. We have ADB. And then, we also have BAD. This one is also an inscribed angle. Why? Because the vertex lies on the circumference of the circle. Ito din po ay inscribed angle din. Yung ating CAB. Ayan. So let's have some activity. Refer to the following figures and determine the angles and its intercepted arc. Okay. So alam niyo naman na yon kung ano yung angle natin, meron tayong na-form na arc. Okay? So for angle K and L, we have the angle K and L here. Okay? What is the arc form? For angle K and L, Janica. Hala, nagtatawag si teacher. O, dito sa ating angle K and L, ano yung ating arc form dito? Baka nakamute ka. Hello? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Janica, for angle K and L, we have angle K and L. What is the arc form? Who wants to help Janica?
So, wala naman si Danica.
Ay, wala si Janica? Janica Simpliciano? Meron siya kanina. Nag-good afternoon pa siya. Okay, who wants to answer? We have angle K and L. For angle K and L, we have an intercepted arc. What is the intercepted arc for this angle? We have arc. Yung pangalan ng arc natin? Review lang. We have arc. Ano? Ito yung angle natin. K and L. Okay, we have arc KL. For angle K and M, what is the arc form?
KM.
Okay, KM. Very good. Next, for angle M N J. MJ. Okay, very good. Arc MJ. So, ganun lang siya. Okay? So, let's have the theorems involving inscribed angle. So, that's just a review. Alam na natin yung relationship. Now, let's move on to the angle, inscribed angle theorem. In a circle, we have circle O. We have circle O here. Circle O. An inscribed angle is half the measure of the central angle intercepting the same arc. Okay? Sabi niya, yung measure down ng inscribed angle ay half ng measure ng central angle. So, in this case, ang central angle po natin dito ay angle AOB. This is our central angle. So, AOB. Now, we want to find the measure of our intercepted angle or inscribed angle rather. Our inscribed angle here is BQA or AQB. Ito siya. Okay. Now, according to the theorem, the measure of the inscribed angle is half the measure of the central angle. Therefore, the measure of angle AQB is equal to 1/2 of the measure of angle AOB. Okay. Kalahati ng central angle ang measure ng inscribed angle. Next, meron ulit tayong isa pang inscribed angle dito. Okay. Yung bang inscribed angle natin na APB, kapareho ng arc ng central angle? Looking at the figure. Pareho ba sila ng arc form? Let's record again. Okay. Do you have questions for inscribed angle theorem?
Wala po.
Or none.
Okay. Naintindihan natin siya?
Yes.
Okay. So,
Yes,
let's move
sir.
on the next slide. Okay. Ito yung explanation natin kanina. Okay. In an inscribed circle or in a circle, inscribed angles intersecting the same arc are congruent. Lahat daw ng inscribed angles na na nagfo-fall sa iisang arc ay congruent. Bakit kaya? Ito daw, dalawang to ay congruent. Kinompute na natin yan kanina. So, prove na natin ulit. So, we have angle APB here. APB, that is half of arc AB. Next, we also have angle AQB, that is also half of angle AB. Why? Dun sa theorem natin kanina, unang theorem natin state that the measure of the inscribed angle is half the measure of the central angle. Now, we know that the measure of any arc form is equivalent also to the measure of the central angle. Kahit na walang central angle na nakalagay dito sa figure, mga anak, kailangan maintindihan natin na itong measure ng arc AB na yan ay equivalent pa rin sa central angle. So, suppose we have point O here to represent the center. And let's say we have a central angle there. Okay? So, for example, kanya mo gamin AJ slide dun, di madi makisama. Okay, for example, the measure of our intercepted arc AB, ay gamin BA. For example ha, para nakikita niyo yung relationship niyo. So, halimbawa, yung ating intercepted arc AB ay may measure na 40 degrees. Okay? Yung measure ngayon ng ating central angle, which is angle AOB, ay 40 degrees also. Now, itong dalawang intercepted arc, itong AB tsaka AQB, ay kalahati ng arc AB. Yun yung sinasabi ng corollary. Okay? Galing yon dun sa unang theorem kanina. Kasi sabi nga natin, ang inscribed ay kalahati ng central angle. And understood ng measure ng central angle ay congruent sa measure ng kanyang arc. So, 40-40, ibig sabihin, kung itong arc na to, arc AB, ay 40, ibig sabihin ng angle APB ay 20 degrees. At ang angle AQB ay 20 degrees din. Sabi niya, in a circle inscribed angles intercepting the same arc are congruent. Bakit sila congruent? Kahit na magkaiba yung size, kahit na magkaiba yung figure. Kasi po, nagfo-fall sila sa iisang arc. Okay? Kaya itong dalawang angle na yan, you have AQB and then APB, pareho pa rin sila ng measure. Bakit? Meron silang iisang arc. Nag-fall sila sa iisang arc. Okay? Kahit na ilipat-lipat natin yan, pareho pa rin sila ng itsura. Pareho pa rin sila ng measure. Let me just show you a figure. So, let's try this one sa GeoGebra. 10 minutes na ba ako? 4 minutes. Okay. Let's try this on GeoGebra application. I just want to show you the relationship. I hope may GeoGebra kayo sa phone or computer. Pero sige, dito ko na lang papakita. Kasi yung picture kanina, hindi natin ma-move yung mga points eh. So, dito tayo. Para nakikita nyo yung relationship. Okay, let's have a circle. These 2 points. According to the corollary, sabi niya, an inscribed angles intercepting the same arc are congruent. So, gagawa tayo ng circle na merong iisang arc, na merong dalawang inscribed angle. So let me just put points here. Okay, so let me draw a line segment. Can you hear me? Liwanag ba yung boses ko? Parang hindi. Okay. So gawa tayo ng dalawang intercepted arc. Ayan. Okay, itong dalawang intercepted arc na to, nagfo-fall siya sa iisang arc. So let me just create colors para makita natin yung pagkakaiba niya. Okay. Sana all, no? Kita nyo ba? Malaki ba yung figure?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sige. Ayan. Ayan. We have two kinds of inscribed angle here. You have the red inscribed angle and we have the black inscribed angle. Now, these two angles fall on the same arc. Okay, let me just show you the arc. Although nakikita nyo, pero emphasize natin yung arc. There. So, we have an arc here. Let's color that violet. Yun. Okay, meron tayong isang arc dito. Okay, kahit ilipat-lipat ko to mga anak, itong points na to, as long as they lie on the same arc, the measure of these two intercepted are equal and are congruent. Nakuha?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, for example, magdagdag pa ako ng isa pang figure. Okay. Tapos, gawa ulit tayo ng line. Tapos, maglalay ulit ito sa iisang arc. Itong angle na ito, ayan. Ayan. Itong figure na ito, kapareho pa rin yan ito. Although, mas maliit siya kung titignan nyo, figuratively. But still, the angle, the measure of the angle of this figure right here, and this red over here, and this black over here are still the same because they lie on the same arc measure. And, again, the measure of this 3 inscribed angle is half the measure of this intercepted arc. Okay? So, kahit na iba-ibahin ko yan, ayan, as long as they lie on the same arc, again, these 3 angles or inscribed angles are still congruent. Okay? Nakuha yung colorally?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, let's have ice cream. Charot. Okay. So, let's move on here. Measurements of angles. O, ayan. Kaya na natin to. Shortcut ko na eh. So, the circle below has center O. We have a center O. And angle ADB is equivalent to 40 degrees. Find the measure of the following. So, let's have first. Okay, let's have first the measure of central angle.
30 degrees.
Central angle. Ano yun, Kyle?
Sir, yung mga, yung pangalan, sir, yung mga inside angles, sir, di ba yun yung parang half sa...
Oo, half nung central angle. Let's identify first.
Sige.
Okay, saan dito ang central angle natin? Angle
AOB.
Okay, very good. We have angle AOV. Therefore, angle AOV, since sabi ka natin kanina, at inulit din ni Kyle, thank you Kyle, ang inscribed angle is half of the central angle. Therefore, if our inscribed angle here is 40 degrees, the measure of our central angle is what?
80.
Okay, very good. We have 80 degrees. Now, does this two inscribed angle lie on the same arc? You have angle ADB and okay, Okay, let's record again. Let's go back. Yes, your answer is yes. So therefore, these two are congruent. Okay, the two inscribed angles are congruent. Now, if the measure of angle AOB, or ADB rather, is equal to 40 degrees, therefore, the measure of angle ACB, this one here, is equal to 40 degrees pala. Why? Because they lie on the same arc. Now, if these two inscribed angle lie on the same arc and the measure of the central angle here is 80 degrees, what is the measure of arc AB?
20, sir.
Saan galing yung 70? 80. 80 degrees. Bakit? Ang arc AB po ay 2 times the measure of the inscribed angle ADB. Okay? Bakit? Sabi nga natin, yung angle kasi kalahati ng central angle or kalahati ng intercepted arc. So, ibig sabihin, kung meron tayong hinahanap na measure ng intercepted arc, 2 beses yun ng ating inscribed angle. Okay? So, that's for the measurement of angles and arcs. Ayan. Let's have one more. The circle below has center. So, meron tayong center. Therefore, meron din tayong central angle. Angle MON, this is your central angle. Angle MON here is your central angle. Why? Ito siya, 54 degrees. And we know that the vertex of the central angle lie on the center of the circle. Find the measures of the following. So if our central angle is 54 degrees, what is the measure of arc MN?
54.
Very good. Because it lies on the central angle. Now, if the arc measure is 54 degrees, we have an intercepted arc here that also falls on the same arc. What is the measure of angle MQN?
Sir, 27.
27.
Okay, very good. 27 degrees. That is half the measure of the intercepted arc and the central angle. Next, we also have angle MPN. What is the measure of angle MPN then?
27.
Okay, 27 then. Does these two inscribed angle lie on the same arc?
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
yes. Therefore, we can say that these two inscribed angles are equal. Ah?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Next, we have the inscribed angle corollary. An angle inscribed in a semicircle is a right triangle. We know that the measure of a semicircle is equivalent to 180 degrees. 180 degrees. And we know that a semicircle is formed if there is a diameter drawn. In this case, our diameter is AOB. Okay? Ang ibig sabihin po nito, nakakapag-form tayo ng right angle kapag ka merong diameter or nakapag-create tayo ng arc sa diameter. Okay? So, in this figure, meron tayong diameter AOB at meron siyang na-form na triangle. So, let's see. So, angle ACB, saan na yung pen ko? Okay, so our angle ACB here is equivalent to half of the intercepted arc. Our intercepted arc here is arc ADB. That's according to the theorem. Now, ADB is a semicircle. Okay? Therefore, the measure of this angle, ACB, is 1/2 of 180 degrees, and that is 90. Now, we know, based on your trigonometry course last year, an angle that has a measure of 90 degrees is a right angle. So, take note, ulitin natin para mas malinaw, kapag meron tayong diameter, or if the arc form comes from the diameter of the circle, therefore, there is an inscribed angle which is a right angle. Ayan.
Yes.
Okay. So, itong inscribed angle natin dito, which is ACB, since na-form siya within the diameter or within the semicircle, ang arc form niya ay semicircle, automatic yan, mga anak, ang angle natin dito ay 90 degrees. Ano pang isang palatandaan doon? Nagfo-fall yung ating diameter sa center. Siyempre, diameter na. So, nagfo-fall siya sa center. So, that's one condition for inscribed angle. Anong pinaka-mother theorem nito? Yung theorem ng inscribed angle. Half the measure of the central angle or the arc or the intercepted arc. Okay? Let's move on. Move on tayo para masaya. Okay. Last one. Ang isang oras. If a quadrilateral is inscribed in a circle, alam natin ang quadrilaterals ay figures, 4 sides from the word quad, which means 4. Any two opposite angles are supplementary. Of course. Okay, any two opposite angles are supplementary. When we say supplementary, this is the angles, angle X is greater than 180 degrees. Okay, pag pinag-add daw natin itong two opposite angles ng ating quadrilateral, ang measure daw niyan ay more than 180 degrees. Less than or equal to 180 degrees. Ay greater than or equal pala. Ayan. So, meron tayong mga conditions dito. You have angle BAD. You have angle BAD, this one. Plus angle DCB, ito, is equivalent to 180 degrees. Next, meron din tayong CBA plus ADC, that is equivalent also to 180 degrees. Let's try to do that in GeoGebra. Punta tayo sa GeoGebra. Try natin i-prove kung tama ito. Siyempre, tama yan, sure. Ilang mathematicians yung nagdaan dyan. Try natin i-prove. Recover, unsave, delete. Okay, gawa tayo ng figure. No green. Magka-count pa rin. Okay. Gawa tayong figure. Circle. Ayan. Tapos, gawa tayo ng quadrilateral. Okay. So, una natin gawin ay yung kanyang angle. Asan na yun? Ayun. Angle with given size. So, 90 degrees clockwise ay baliktad, yan, isa pang point, sorry. Gawa tayo ng quadrilateral. So, have this one. Pag alaro na, maingay kami dito eh. Naririnig nyo ba sila? Okay, according to the theorem, measure daw ng ating mga supplementary angles ay equivalent to ang measure ng mga opposite angles natin ay equivalent to supplementary angles. Pag supplementary, that's equivalent to 180. So, kapag ka-inad natin yan, yung mga magkakatapat, that's still equivalent to 150 degrees. Okay? So, for example, yung figure natin na circle, meron tayong quadrilaterals dito. Yan, hindi siya perfect square. Halimbawa, rhombus siya. Rhombus is a square. Now, for example, the measure of this side is 45 degrees. Parang unbelievable na may 45 degrees. Wait lang. Let's say this is 85 degrees. Okay. Therefore, this is equivalent to 95 degrees. Why? Because according to the colorally, the opposite side of the quadrilateral is equivalent to supplementary angles or 180 degrees. Okay, and this one also is 180 degrees. Okay, so for example, this is 35 naman. 180 plus 35 is equal to 145. Therefore, this side right here is 145 degrees. Adding it all up together, we have 360 degrees. And we know that the measure of a quadrilateral angles is equivalent to, or angles of a quadrilateral is equivalent to 360. So the measure of a triangle is equivalent to 180 degrees. So, yun yung pinoprove ng ating corollary. So, balik tayo dun sa PowerPoint. 2 minutes. Okay. So, that's for the inscribed angle involving quadrilateral. So, take note, may mga arc forms din tayo dito. Ayan, may mga arc forms din tayo dyan. Okay, you have arc dito. This is an arc. This one, arc yan. Okay, kung ano yung measure nito, kalahati ng arc niyan, yun yung measure niya. Meron din tayong arc dito. Importante na visualize din natin yung ating mga figures. So, let's try to measure this one. In quadrilateral O, and circle O, angle DCA, we have angle DCA is equivalent to 25 degrees. So, let's try to draw. Yan. Ito yung ating angle DCA. Angle ADC, you have angle ADC, this one, ADC is equivalent to 105 degrees. Next, we have to find the measures of the following. So, let's find. So, you have angle DBA, so this one. Ano daw ang measurement nito? Angle DBA. So, let's try to look at the relationships first. Okay, tignan natin muna yung relationship. This is your angle DBA. As you can see, my beloved students, okay, angle DBA falls on arc DA. Correct? Hello?
Yes.
Okay. And also, angle DCA also falls on arc DA. Correct? They have the same arc. Now, if we want to find the measure of angle DBA, what is our formula? Angle DBA is twice of the measure of, oh no, they have this is equal to what? Is equal to the measure of
DCA.
Okay, very good. Measure of angle DCA. Why? Because they fall on the same arc. Okay? Sabi natin kanina, if two inscribed angle falls on the same arc, they have the same measure. Therefore, if angle DCA is equivalent to 25 degrees, therefore, angle DBA is equal to 25 degrees also. Next, 5 minutes. We have angle DCB. Let me just erase the writings. Okay, let's move to angle DCB. For angle DCB, hanapin muna natin siya. Angle DCB. Ito siya. Okay, angle DCB is what? Ano ang measure ng angle DCB? Tignan natin. Okay. Does angle DCB, this one, falls on a semicircle? What is the intercepted arc of this angle? Yes, it falls on a semicircle, right? And according to the corollary that we have later, a while ago, if the inscribed angle falls on a semicircle, what is the measure of the inscribed angle?
Sure, 90.
Very good. We have 90 degrees. Bakit yung kasing intercepted arc niya ay nag-fall sa semicircle? Kung mapapansin yung semicircle na yan, no? Ibig sabihin, ang measure nito ay 90 degrees. Okay, very good. Next, let's have the next problem. We have angle ABC. Ang time? 6 minutes. Okay. We have angle ABC. 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 This one. Now, what is the measure of this side right here? Take note. It falls on the quadrilateral O. Correct? And according to the corollary, the opposite sides of the quadrilaterals are supplementary. What is the opposite side of angle ABC? Anong opposite side ng angle ABC? Kung susundin natin yung corollary for quadrilaterals. ABC is opposite to CDA. Correct. Very good. Ito siya. It is opposite to CDA. At sabi natin kanina, kapag pinag-add natin ito, dapat 180 degrees siya. Therefore, ang formula natin dito is 180 degrees minus angle CDA. So, we know that CDA is 105. So, 180 degrees minus 105. That is the measure of angle ABC. And that is equal to what?
75.
Okay, very good. So, the measure of angle ABC is 75 degrees. Next, we have angle CBD. We have CBD. Let me just erase this one. Anong time na natin? 8 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes more. So, let's have angle CBD. Okay, for angle CBD, this one. Yeah. Meron tayong intercepted arc dito. Pause lang natin yung video. Medyo mahaba yung solution nito. Record. Okay. We have angle CBD here. Now, let's look at the relationships. Na-form na natin yung mga measures kanina. So, let's try to label them. So, we have DBA. DBA is this one. This one is 25 degrees. And our ABC kanina is 75 degrees. Now, we want to look for this angle. So, what is our formula then for angle CBD? So, our formula here is angle ABC, that's 75, minus angle ADB. Correct? Because they fall on the same angle eh. So, we have angle ADB. angle DBA rather. DBA. So that is 75 degrees minus 25 degrees. So we have now 50 degrees for angle CBD. Okay? Again, we applied all the theorems and corollaries involving inscribed angle. Okay? Naintindihan ba yung ating lesson for today? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Kung naiintindihan natin, ulitin natin ha. I-reiterate ko, hindi tayo mabot ng isang oras. Pero yung mga seatworks nyo, syempre, abot talaga ng isang oras. So, doon tayo sa seatwork. Let's have some work. Let's go back here. Ayan. Dito, sa ating module, I provided a lot of examples and problems also. Okay? So, you can watch it, you can read it. At least you have the concepts already for inscribed angle. So, I know that you'll be able to understand it. Now, I would like you to take down notes, of course. That's for you para hindi kayo mga pagdating ng quizzes natin since you don't have any more questions. Now, for your seatworks, you have seatworks here. Yan. Madali as long as you know the concept already. So, yung iba dito na-solve na natin. So, pwede nyo i-solve ulit para ma-review nyo siya. Okay? For the deepened part, ayan, may mga examples pati. More examples, more learnings, more illustrations. May mga dilagay ako dito which is Filipino-based para hindi kayo mahirapan. Okay? Ito si Lodi. Ewan ko, grade 11 ata to si Kuya. Ayan. And we also have more examples for that. And then, you also have an activity here. Ayan, nakita nyo na yung sagot. Ayan, meron din kayong activity dito. Basta yun lang yung tatandaan yung mga anak, okay? The measure of an inscribed angle is half the measure of the central arc and the arc form. Ay, central angle and the arc. No. Dito. Okay. So, that's for your module for this week. And for the generalization, I hope you have your books with you. Now, if you don't have books, you can ask your classmate to send you a copy or a picture of the activity. Okay? Nag-post ako sa Google Classroom natin. Doon kayo mag-attach ng solution. Maliwanag po?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
O, Kyle, di tayo umabot ng isang oras. Ay, umabot. Akala ko hindi.